Hello and welcome to the Ask Weldon Show, episode 98. You will see that I still have my minion costume and I still have my bandana and I still have my coat because I'm filming this directly after episode 97 because I think that tomorrow I'm going to be packing a lot as I'm going to be flying back to Finland for November. Very excited about that. So, please pardon the non-change of scene, but let's dive into it. First question is from Ella Fox, and they say, what are your thoughts on the World's Tournament format and do you think it could be improved? I really like the World's Tournament format. I think it's almost perfect. It's kind of long, but yeah, it rewards all the things that I think are important in sport, which is consistency over time. Next question is from Himskitsu, Hiimskitzu, and he asks, maybe she, my girlfriend and I recently climbed from bronze 2 to gold 4 as a bot lane duo and wanted tips for climbing next year. Bronze 2 to gold 4. Okay. So, tips for climbing next year as a bot lane duo. Support roams. So once you start getting into plat, diamond, challenger level play, you wanna be really good at roaming. You wanna be roaming. So I think there's a couple core plays that you should have staples. First of all, the sightstone purchase. I think that you should consider your laning phase, like when you go back to the fountain, trying to greed as much experience as possible. So you should learn how to kind of reset individually, taking turns so that nobody loses experience in the lane ever. And then you should try to kind of plan your purchases at the right time so that you can both survive the lane and get to the sightstone purchase. So then when your girlfriend or when you, depending on who plays support, gets the sightstone, you should path straight out through mid. It should be a mid roam, and you should go try to get the jungler, be talking to the jungler and pinging them at this point, and try to get the jungler and go to one of the sides of mid and start taking vision, like as a 3 with the jungler and the mid laner, while your partner catches on the tower or plays safe in the bot lane. Okay, so this is a really staple kind of move. You want to start as soon as you get that power play of the sightstone, you want to start extending that into other lanes so that you can win the map. And I also think that you should look kind of at really staple roam plays that you can do with certain bot lanes. So for example, the Alistair level 2 roam is just disgusting. If you take Ignite and you show up randomly, as soon as you're level 2 on the jungler when he's somewhere. Or that's something that Afram loves to do, is the level 2 roam with the Ignite jungler, whether it's Braum or Alistair or Karma. You can really do a lot to win the game for your mid laner if you zone their mid laner off of the wave for like 3 to 6 minions, and then your mid laner gets an XP advantage and they can cascade that every single level they ding first. And every single trade they take with that extra level, they will have an extra spell, which is like an extra 100 damage or more on top of the trade. And then they also get level 6 first, usually. So that can be really overpoweringly good for the middle of the map. And then you should also consider, like, basically when it is that you readjust the lanes on the map. So you should consider trying to figure out the best times to abandon your lane and group first when your lane is losing. Or like when your support just says, okay, this lane's over, I'm leaving, and you just play super safe and catch tower, and you need to have a clear path. Sorry, you need to have a clear path from you to like group with the team, and you need to move fast enough to do that, but you also need to just kind of farm solo and not die while your support kind of plays with the team to reinforce the team because you're losing. Now when you're winning and you take to turret, you immediately want to start applying pressure elsewhere and use that lane as a way to soak farm for somebody else on the team. So just kind of upgrade your macro play in terms of your coordination with your team. And then for the laning phase, I would say get some core supports from each style. So I think you should play, aggressive tanks, team fighting tanks, aggressive ranged supports like Karma, and then like more sustained range supports like Soraka, and you should play those 4 kind of categories and have really good staples in each of them. And then of course, just pick well. in your draft so that you have a really dominant. I don't think it's a really good idea to pick for team composition that much in solo queue, especially when you're climbing. So I would pick for the lane strongly. And then if you win the lane, you can try to win the game off of it. Because there's not a lot of sitting on vision and having core team fights in solo queue. It's more of skirmishing, and you just have to be stronger, the bigger, stronger, faster opponent to win the skirmish. Okay, good luck. Okay, next question is from ZQ Young 17. This is from the last show. Sorry, I don't know how it got on their double, but I want to pursue Pro CSGO, but I don't know how to justify the risk. How good should I be to consider grinding the top? Please check out my last show, and you will see the answer to that question. Ask Weldon, episode 97. Okay, next question is from Nate Fortune. And they ask, how would I deal with very inconsistent play, i.e. winning 10 games in a row, then losing 10 games in a row? Okay, consistency is both important and also misunderstood. Sorry, I haven't had my morning coffee or breakfast yet. So good morning, everybody. That's what I'm yawning for. So consistent play, sometimes you're not actually being inconsistent, like 10 games. Winning or losing. Winning and losing is not the best metric to gauge your consistency in a 10-person game. So you're 1/10 of the factor that goes into winning and losing that game. And what you should be looking at is your performance. You need to find other metrics to gauge your performance. And some of it's going to be gut instinct, like you did well, and some of it's going to be gut instinct, like you did badly. Some of it should be objective, like you should watch the VOD and you should decide and you should count the number of times that you win trades and lose trades. And you should count the number of successful roams you've had. And you should say, I want to do one more, and you should try more roams. And you say, I roamed 7 times, 4 times successfully, 3 times not. Then the next game, I roamed 7 times, 5 times successfully. Okay, getting better. So, one, your metrics are janked. Like, don't focus on winning and losing in a game like League of Legends, which is a 10-person game. You should be focusing on, like, measurable things that you can control in the game that you can use to show your improvement. Number 2, if you are actually being inconsistent, then a lot of times you're not playing for the right reasons. You're just playing, you're not playing for the reasons that you think you are. You are playing for enjoyment and pleasure and relaxation and for playing a video game, which is totally fine, okay? Understand that that is one way that the entire world has approached video games for many, many years, and that's totally perfectly fine, okay? To just have fun. So you need to desync your enjoyment and your performance level, because those things are never going to come together. And you need to find a way to have fun when you're not doing too well, not doing too hot. Find a way to like for example, when I am doing badly in a game and I want to find the joy, usually I pick an opponent on the opposing team and I just try to tilt them. I just go hide in bushes when I know they're going to be there. I blow my flash to kill them all the time. I just go triple lane their lane. I just try to find things that are fun for me and do them. You know, I mute my whole team and solo farm a lane all the way to their nexus. The kind of things that are going to bring you joy, that you do for enjoyment. Okay. Now, if you are playing the game to be a consistent performer, now that is different. You got to give up the fun, because being consistent and playing a video game for entertainment are not in the same ballpark. In order to be a consistent player, you have to play champions that you've trained very well. You have to always pick the right role. You have to always pick the strong champion. You have to always pick the one that you know. You always have to do the same thing. You always have to analyze it for perfection. You always have to be super focused. You have to set aside distraction. You have to make hard decisions like abandoning the fight, even though fighting would be fun. It's not the right time to fight. You have to withhold yourself. You have to actually fight when you feel weak, if fighting is the right thing to do at the right time. So you don't get to seek the joy in the moment. You have to seek the joy in aiming for perfection and pursuit in the long term. So if that's where you are and you wire that up, then you have to look at your gameplay and find out how you're going to measure your gradual slow improvement, and then you need to get consistent about applying yourself to improving and focusing on those things. And then you will see that actually you are more consistent than you thought, and you will improve on those. And if you can't do that, and if you're inconsistent on it, then probably your motivation is not towards that kind of ultimate goal, or you think it is, but actually you just like having fun a lot more, which is fine. Go for it. Okay, final question is from 223 Dlee, and they ask, Pan said that his best method for climbing is to play with 80% effort. Is this a good method? Thanks, hope TSM does better next year. Best method for climbing is to play lots of games, because you have to get a statistical average to your level of play, and if you're already good, then you're going to average up to that level. So in order to sustain that kind of effort, you need to keep your motivation high, and you need to keep your focus high, which means not draining yourself. So you can either play tons of games with 80% effort and be good enough to just crush in them because you're better than everybody else, or you can play few games with 100% effort and make sure that you take breaks so that you can actually bring it all to the table. Because what's going to happen is you're going to play 3 games at 100% effort, then you're going to play 3 games at 50% effort, and you're going to do badly. So it's better to play 6 games at 80% effort if you are better than the rank that you're at. So if you play with 80% effort and you're losing, I'm sorry to say, but you're not good enough. Don't come crying to me or Pants. Instead, you should play less games with 100% effort, and then you should just stop and take breaks and find ways of focusing and drink coffee and moderate your play that way. Okay, that's the show. Tune in next time for episode 99, the last show before my 100th MindGamesTV/AskWeldon show episode. Please check out the links down below. My mindgames.gg/MAC program, Mindfulness Acceptance Commitment. You can read all about it on that page. Please go to that page and please read it. See if it's right for you. Second link is my list, Weldon's list. Please join. You'll get emails of all the cool stuff and tools that I find around the web each week. So it's curated so that you don't have to go finding this stuff. Instead, you can rely on me to find science-based articles or science-based learning that is developmental and useful for you. And then I also try a lot of stuff and tell you what it is that is worth buying and not buying. Like this microphone, which I think is worth buying, which I'll share with you on my list probably. But also I'm going to do a video about that, by the way. And finally, the 5-minute journal, which is the best tool that I've found in terms of time spent and resilience gained. So it's the #1 way to kind of start taking control of your life in terms of building mental resilience and finding ways to focus on what it is that's important to you. So I recommend it strongly because I used it myself. And you don't even have to purchase it. You can just go to their website and look at the kind of format of the pages and do them. But if you do buy the book, there's a whole section in the beginning that shows all the science and explains it all, which you can have fun reading. Okay. And by the way, they also have an app. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in, and I wanted to encourage you to subscribe so you get a notification when I make a new video. Also, if you want to ask a question for the show, please check out the instructions. You can ask on Twitter, or there's a link down below for longer questions. Feel free to jump down to the comments. You'll notice that I reply to a lot of them. I really appreciate it when you weigh in on the show and on the content. Let me know what you think.